Good morning, everybody. I am JJW, and you are here on rumble.com/JJW. I thought that was fixed. I guess it's not. So, normally Deacon's here with me, but he's got, I'll let him tell the story in it when he gets here in a little bit. But normally, Deacon and I sit here, drink coffee, and look through the news and see what's going on in the world. And we try to make things a little bit entertaining for you. We want to let you know that the world's not as bad as it could be. And while we may live in interesting times, there's always a brighter day. So good morning, drink your coffee. Let's look at the news. As you can tell, this show I titled America First. Should Trump let go and let God? It's been now, we've had a full day since the elections. We still don't really know what's going on. We have 3 states that are outstanding in terms of the Senate distribution. One of the 4 states that were important to consider, that could go either way and change the balance of the Senate is Pennsylvania. And we do know for sure that Mehmet Oz has conceded to John Fetterman for Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania has flipped from a red Senate seat to a blue Senate seat, which means that if all things are equal, it is now a 51-49 Democratic Senate. But there are 3 states that are outstanding, and we do not know the results of these races yet. But the good news is we won't know until at the middle of December. So you don't need to worry and fret about it today or this morning. I'm going to make sure my Rumble feed is running, and it is okay. Good morning. I assume that is Brian. Good morning, Brian. Where's Deacon, the real star? I know that Deacon is the star of the show. I know that. I know. Deacon's got some software issues. Deacon had a little update. He got some wires crossed. Oh, there he is. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Deacon.
Hello?
So you're going to love this. That's the wrong mic.
You're kidding.
No. I think that's your webcam mic. It's just easy to fix. Just hit your little settings thing and change it. So you missed our new. I got a new intro for you, Deacon.
On this?
Yes, that's right.
You can't hear me here.
That is not the mic that's hooked up to your.
Where do I change that?
Okay, right
in
here,
this screen.
Right here underneath me. Right there underneath you. There's a little gear, a little sprocket. Hit that little sprocket. Yeah, and then it has audio, and then change your audio input. It's probably on default, so change it to your awesome mic.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah. Now you're nice and warm and close. It's
Dude,
like a hug.
What the hell?
Ears.
Okay, I've got 2 computers in this room. Okay.
Look at this.
Oh, my God. At least it's not the pink one that looks like a nipple.
Hey, does it sound any better? No, probably not.
You sound a little more muffled than normal, but you didn't sound bad to start with. No, I've got 2 computers in here, and I did not lose power last night. I have a surefire way. I've got another little audio processor thing right here that when it loses power, when I lose power in the building, it always shuts off. Always. That's if I know if it's off, I lost power. So I did not lose power last night.
Okay.
My audio program, you see my audio program that I use?
Yeah.
Okay, I use that for everything. I've used it for 30 years. it decided to just switch inputs this morning. So when I go to hit record, I've got all my stuff together and my news and everything, and and I go to hit record, and it's like, no, we changed stuff last night while you were sleeping. And I was like, huh? So I had to go through and rechange everything, and then I had to go through and rechange everything. It's just a bastard. And I've got like 4 things that I have to change, 5 now with this stupid microphone or video camera.
Is there anybody else that runs your mic?
No.
Not.
No one else is in this building. Not one person. Now, there's people with keys that could get into this building, but I do certain things. I don't do them all the time, but I do certain things in this building to let me know if someone came in the building. I set the chair a certain way. When I leave my headphones, I leave the cord draped across the arm of the chair on purpose. You know, little bitty things that people wouldn't notice.
Take a match and put it in the door jamb right there.
Well,
put it in the door jamb.
I don't do stuff like that.
Oh, you're not totally crazy?
No, I do stuff like I'll push this chair all the way up and I'll drape the cord over the arm a certain way so that if somebody's like, oh, he had the chair all the way up, you probably didn't notice that I had the cord laying over the arm too, a certain way.
Right.
So
right.
Nobody was in here last night. It's just stupid Microsoft. It does it all the time. And when Microsoft decides to change one setting, all of my audio, that audio and my main audio that I run the radio station off of, decides to quit and screw up. So it's just
I don't have exactly the same problems, but I have similar problems. Like about 1 out of 3 days that I come over here and set up my laptop and plug my dock in and expect to bring up this app and be like, okay, let's start the show. 1 out of 3 days, it's like, oh, we don't see your camera. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's plugged in right there. The camera's right there. I'm looking at it, and it's like, no, it's not available. So I have to go like unplug it and plug it back in. And I'm afraid that it's the mic sometimes.
What would have made and I'm one of these people that I try to go down and find what would have made that problem. And I've had a problem plaguing me for like 5 years here at the radio station. It drives me mad. I don't know what changes my audio inputs on this other. But what would have changed the audio input on this program and this website?
Right.
No.
Well,
what would have done that?
The thing that makes sense to me is that what do you have? Your awesome mic is hooked up into like a Phantom Power XLR to USB converter or something like that.
My mic is hooked up to that.
Yeah, I bet that lost power. I bet that thing.
No, if my board loses power, all of the lights come on.
Oh, yeah?
So all the lights weren't on. And I would have been alerted last night from a listener being like, something wrong with the radio station. Right. So the board was fine.
Okay. That was my guess.
But I also have about 3 or 4 other things that they go through down here.
Audio. One of those.
You're right. I bet one of those could have probably.
One of those. Because I think that's what's going on here. Because I have a 90-watt power supply going into this dock. And then that dock goes into my laptop. So that has enough power for my laptop and a couple of these things. But I think maybe 90 watts is like 10 watts too few. So one of my devices occasionally doesn't have quite enough voltage, and I think that's what causes it. This is some nerdy shit we're talking about right here.
This is nerdy shit, but it's answering
it's
questions.
Just
you're right. I bet it lost some voltage.
Yeah, just a little bit of voltage, and just a little bit. It can be enough for the USB to be like, oh, it's off. Oh, it's back on.
Yep, you're exactly right, because I bet you're exactly right. You think you've just solved this problem, because I have been talking with my engineer about one of our battery backups is going bad, I thought.
Yeah.
And I was like, we need to get a new battery backup, because this one's going bad that runs all of our, if the power goes off, I stay on. And
what do you got, like an APC or something like that? Or
yeah, I think it is an APC.
So usually those just have like 12 volt
APC.
Yeah, those usually have 12 volt lead acid batteries. This is some nerdy shit.
I know, but
I can tell you right now, those batteries are about like $80 each, and depending on the size of your APC, you can get 1 or 2 of them, and you can just You can replace those batteries super cheap from
Oh, in
Batteries
the
Plus.
APC, I don't have to buy a whole new battery backup because that's what I told my engineer. I was like, we're just going to have to get a new battery backup.
Now, if it's like over 10 years old, then the circuit board that runs it inside can start to like go to
probably more than 10 years old.
Yeah, right.
It's
so
old.
If it's that old, you might it might be better for you to get a new one.
I have two different styles, and I bet you both of them are. Because the one over there is a flat, and the one that's over here underneath me stands up, and I bet they're both over 10 years old.
Yeah. So, and you just have to check it out and see what it's up. Okay. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Right. Thank you. Sorry for all the talk, everybody.
Aside from your massive technical problems, hey, I want to give a shout out to. I'm not sure who it was. Because I'm not sure if it's a random listener, and if it's a random viewer, I'm super excited. Thanks for watching the show. And if it's one of our regular viewers, I'm super excited. Thanks for watching the show. But over on rumble.com, yesterday we had a video. I think it was So Who's in Charge Now. We had like 74 views on that, which is more than our normal views. So which means that we're picking up views from organically from search and coming up in people's feeds. And we had a Midnight Rider left a comment yesterday on our Star Wars story.
Yeah.
And Midnight Rider said, Star Wars is dead. You can thank Mrs. Kennedy or Ms. Kennedy. Is she not married? Maybe she's married.
I don't care.
Star Wars is dead. To which I excitedly replied, the Force is female. It's just that the female Force is a little bit boring and preachy. But anyway, so if you are out there, guys, listening and watching on rumble.com, please leave a rumble for this video. And
I will
leave a comment.
I will agree with our listener, our viewer. She did kill Star Wars, but I am enjoying Andor.
So I had an idea about this. I've been trying to watch the show. And here's my idea. I think I'm gonna. This is what I'm gonna do. Because I watched like the rest of 4, and I guess I watched 5, and I'm halfway through 6. And I have to say, I guess I watched 5 because like I watched it, but like I'm not sure everything's stuck. I have an idea for Andor though.
Okay,
we'll see if you like it. Next week we'll be doing shows about Andor episodes. It'll be short bits. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to recap the episode of Andor, whichever one it was, except we'll call the segment Andor, but exciting. And so I'll just recap whatever happened in the show, but I'll make it sound exciting. So I'll just trim the fat of the show. I think it's a good idea.
I don't see any fat in the show though.
Not any?
I mean, I don't.
Not when they're camping in the woods or...
It's all important. Do you not pay attention to that stuff? You're like my kids. I'm like, shush and listen to them talking right here. This is an important part.
But you can't say that every bit of it's important. And
if every bit of it wasn't important to the story, they would cut the shit out and not make it as long.
Well, we'll see.
I'm just enjoying the story. I'm enjoying.
I'm not crapping on it. I'm trying to help other people like me that are like, man, 10 hours is a lot of time.
You're trying to help other people like you that have this big of an attention span.
That's right.
You people are who I have tried to keep your attention for 30 years with spots. I mean, honestly, that's my job, is to monitor attention spans and figure out how to keep. Hey, JJ, look.
Yeah.
How to keep your attention. That's how I will admit that Andor is not a brilliant attention getter and keeper, but I am one of those people that I had to watch the damn thing twice, the first 3 episodes twice, before I actually was like, Andy, put the damn telephone down, quit scrolling through, quit playing Marvel Snap, and pay attention.
Marvel Snap is a lot of fun, dude.
Yeah,
Marvel Snap is so fun.
So I had to pay attention to the story, and once I actually watched the story and quit trying to do 17 things at once and try to watch it while I'm on my phone, I watched the story, and I'm enjoying the story.
Oh, what's up here? Hey, it's Mrs. JJ. Can you say good morning?
Good morning. I'm out of breath. I just got off the
Oh, okay. All right.
Breathing heavy on
you. She's running the treadmill down. Okay. I think this is a good idea, guys. Listen, viewers. I appeal to you. If you think it's a good, if you think it's a good idea to have Andor but exciting, Cliff Notes, then let me know, because I was watching an episode today and there was like, it was totally like, oh, I get it. He's a terrorist now. he's part of a terrorist group.
Do you understand the story about Star Wars, about rebels and the Empire? Do you understand how that story goes? Do you understand that the rebels are probably called terrorists at one time by the Empire?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I know this. I was watching some of the Empire stuff, and there was like, guy, here's your new office building, and there was a bunch of subcontractors cleaning the streets, and I was like, oh, Kevin was right.
I love. Yeah, Kevin was right. That's funny. I love. There were a bunch of innocent people died. The Empire killed innocent people, and this is the show is showing like the gritty nastiness of the Empire. We have had this glazed over, these are the bad guys and they treat people bad and they kill people. See how bad they are? They kill people. We've never actually got to see these independent companies. This is not the first of this. They weren't the Empire. They were an independent
they're
company.
Not. Right.
And
it's a contractor.
The gritty, nasty, I'm going to torture you. You haven't got to this part where they torture this woman with these audio, and when they describe what the fucking audio is, oh my God. It was when I watched that yesterday, I was like, oh my God, that's a little twisted. You know,
okay.
It's a really good show that shows you that with the rebels, in order to defeat the Empire that we see that they do, they had to do a lot of bad shit and a lot of questionable shit that you might not morally think is right, but they had to do it. You know, it's a good show. You got to look deeper into it.
I understand.
Okay. All right. I'll quit talking about it.
I am a super busy person. I mean, I got
right. I have a little bit more time than you. At work.
Although I will admit, I am spending way too much time playing Marvel Snap. That game is so fun.
You start and
you're like, oh, this is silly, this is fun, and you're like, hold on, wait a second, oh my gosh, this is great. It's like Magic the Gathering, except faster,
and you always gain something, and the little bit of points that you lose if you lose a match is not like devastating to make you feel bad.
It is so satisfying. It is so satisfying to start. I've had a couple of these. I start the match before anything starts. I'm like, hello, because you got these little like short chat things. I'm like, hello, snap or whatever. And then like me and that guy will be like back and forth, snap. And then, okay, well, like basically what you're doing is you're wagering your progress against theirs at the start of the thing. And you can, if you start early, you can max it out and then whoever wins gets to take, and whoever loses progress. And then you play for a couple of rounds, and it's so satisfying when you trick them into, or you corner them into playing and just not doing a good enough job, and you just totally wreck them. And then at the end, you have about a half second where you're like, haha, you suck. I'm awesome.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Well, I played last night. It was satisfying to me last night. These people that will get these decks, or they'll see decks on Twitter or something, and they try to do these certain decks that rely on one or two cards. And this guy last night, I knew what he was going to do, because I played a morph, and my morph turned into Heimdall, which moves everybody to the left.
Yes.
So I knew he was probably going to play that card at the end, the way that he was setting up his board. And a lot of people don't concentrate on all three locations. They'll concentrate on winning two. So anyway, I love it when somebody has one strategy for their deck and it fails at the very end. And they won. I won an 8 snap last night, because the dude was like, watch this, and moved everything to the left. And I was like, you forgot about these two over here, dumbass.
So we're just talking nerd shit all day today. So I have a deck that I called Chaos Bringer, and I took it from Slade, who was over on the server and got his ass banned. But I took his deck, and then I swapped out 2 or 3 cards. So I have a deck that has Scarlet Witch, so it just swaps the location randomly, and it
That's a good one. Rhino is another good one to have in your deck because Rhino will ruin a location, and sometimes you need that shit. Sometimes you'll see those guys that will like +5 power to every one. So they'll stack that location, and they've used 4 turns, and you just throw a Rhino in there, and you've screwed their whole freaking day up.
It has morph, so it randomly changes into a higher value card.
Love
it
that
has
card.
There's a I forget what the name of the girl. It's a female. It's a 4-cost 1 point card, but it brings in a second card. And then for the high end cards,
that's a 5-cost 1 point. No, it's White Tiger. Is it?
No, not. I have that also.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I have these cards that they bring in more powerful
cards.
things.
Yeah.
And then Odin, so I can double the effect a couple times. So I have this. I mean, this basically you can go into the match against me and be like, okay, this is the thing, and we can fight. This is our arena, and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to wreck this. Whatever this is, it's not going to be this at the end. It's going to look totally different. So I'm basically every fight I'm going into, I just cause total chaos and havoc, and the other person is just like, I was planning to play this way.
Yeah, they have a lot of people that I've been seeing will pick a deck to do one thing. You know, this is my whatever deck, or this is my whatever deck, or this is my what, and it relies on
Destroyer.
One thing. And me and you are old school card game, collectible card game players from way back to like Magic Alpha.
Yeah.
So we know that you can't rely. Me and you have made that mistake before. We've had Magic decks that have been like, this is my Icy Manipulator deck, or this is my Justice deck. You can't rely on the deck to do one thing, or
my brother was always better at building those specialized decks than I was. So I was always just like, my strategy was like, how fast and hard can I hit them as much as possible? Yeah. Or how many times can I bring these zombies back? Okay. So, and Deacon, do you know about Snap? Because
real quick, I was just going to remind folks on here, if you like Snap, if you want to know more about Snap, join our Discord server, and JJ and I will create a category or a place over there so we can talk about Marvel Snap and share our decks. Because I heard that soon we're going to be able to add friends and play against our friends.
Well, I don't know about adding friends, but right now you can share your deck. That's what I want to tell you. If you go to the place where you change the back of your card, you can copy your deck, and then you can go over to Discord and paste it, and it pastes the little code.
Oh, really?
Yes, dude. Yes, I know. I have it on the contest server, but I'll bring the Snap channel over. So if you guys are not already, go to over there in the corner. It says jjlocals.com. On there is it's join up for free, and then there's a link to our Discord server, and that's exclusively for people that are on the locals for right now. And
we sit and talk in the Discord. JJ talks a lot more than I do, but
I'm on all day.
Yeah,
all day.
I check it and watch it all day too.
These guys are posting memes. There's people over there talking about I don't know what sometimes.
Yeah, we're just hanging out. Yeah, there was a cooking one that I saw that popped up. I was like, what is this? I want to see what.
It's just anything that any dads want to talk about. It's like, okay, here you go. Let's talk about it.
Poppers, man, those look good. And look, desserts. Exciting. Look at that strawberries and cream cake. God Almighty! Yeah, we're dads. We like to talk about.
I mean, if you're a dad or
a mom,
shout out
or you don't have to be a parent. You're a person.
I don't see why you can. This is 2021. You can be a dad and be a woman at the same time, right?
I'm gonna get coffee now. Thank you.
All right. Well, before we talk about I'm gonna save that for Deacon. So let's see. I had some news. I was talking about the election results, so I'll just bring that up. Is it this one? Yeah. Here we go. Election results. Okay, so it's been 24 hours since the elections. We've got most of the results in from most of the states. There's still a lot of outstanding races that are too close to call. And in the case of Georgia, neither Warnock nor Walker has over 50% of the vote. And for Georgia, having less than 50% of the vote means that that race is going to go to a runoff. So on December 3rd, I think it's December 3rd, it might be December 6th, the voters of Georgia will have to head out to the polls once again and select once again their preferred representative. So this could easily be the state that decides whether we are have a Republican Congress or a Democratic Congress. We had a Republican senator for Pennsylvania, and Fetterman defeated Oz. Mehmet Oz conceded the Pennsylvania seat. So John Fetterman will be the Pennsylvania senator, unless he steps down. Maybe he won't. I don't know. We also have two other outstanding seats. We have Nevada and Arizona. In Arizona, Blake Masters is trailing Mark Kelly. Now, Kelly is the incumbent. He has the advantage. 76% of the vote has been reported, at least as far as RCP goes. So it's looking like Arizona will once again have a Democratic senator. And then there is Nevada. Nevada had a Democratic senator and currently have Cortez Masto and trailing behind Republican Laxalt. So if things hold to this trend, this state will flip from blue to red. So we've had one Democratic pickup. We might have one Republican pickup. We may have a runoff in Georgia next month. So it literally could be 50-50, and this one seat will be deciding whether or not it's a Democrat or Republican Congress. So that's the state of things as far as the Senate goes. In the House, the Republicans did win. Currently, they're up 8, and the Democrats have lost 8, and it's expected, I believe, that the Republicans will pick up like another 10 or 20. I think they'll be like 224. So they'll be just enough of a majority, super thin majority. And in the governor's races, there are two that remain to be remain to be called. That is Nevada. Oh, I'm sorry. There's 3. There's Nevada and Arizona and Alaska. In Alaska, the Republican is way ahead of the Democrat, but we don't have a determination on that yet. So it could be like big districts or whatever. They haven't reported. Carrie Lake is trailing behind Katie Hobbs, but yesterday the difference was like a couple of hundred votes or a couple of dozen votes. So that's a really tight race. Democrats have picked up Maryland, Massachusetts, not surprising. And in Nevada, the Republican Lombardo is ahead of Sisolak. So that may become a red seat. So we will worry about more of that another day. Okay, Deacon. Good morning, sir. I wanted to, I had some, let's see, I've got some pop culture media news that I wanted to make sure that we talked about. And I really do want to pose this question. Should Trump, and I know what your answer is, and I'm just thinking about it. I'm thinking about our maybe what our viewers think, because I know some of our viewers share the kind of like America first kind of priority, or your own state first, and for all of the hyperbole that is tossed around about MAGA Republicans being crazy and cultists, they're not. MAGA Republicans are totally America first, and that does not. Oh, okay. Had a dog sick. I'm gonna have to take care of that. America.
You're on the thing. I'm on it.
Okay. Yeah, America first and MAGA people. I'm not gonna say MAGA Republicans are totally willing to let Trump go. I think. Now, if you listen to big box media or what have you, they're going to tell you that MAGA cultists are going to follow Trump to the end of the world. But I am telling you, these people that think have an America first priority I think they're willing to let Trump go if there's a better way to go. And as of yesterday, it's looking like DeSantis had a landslide, Florida had a landslide, and a lot of Trump-backed Republicans, specifically Mehmet Oz, but some others, they didn't win. So, what do you think? What do you think that? Which way should Republicans pivot for 2024? Should Republicans consolidate behind Donald Trump to come back and smash the establishment once again, or should we just drop it and hey, let's go another way?
We need to go another way. You know what I'm going to say.
Well, I mean, Republicans lost a lot of seats, like a lot of like down ticket seats.
They were going to. It was inevitable because of the abortion thing was automatically going to make Republicans lose seats. The abortion thing was going to cause the younger crowd to come out more than they would have anyway. That's just, I mean, just use your brain. That's
so
just
my understanding is that is not incorrect, and it's in 2020 the demographic that turned out and punished Trump, that was white suburban women. White suburban women came out in 2020 and voted for Joe Biden. And in this election, it's looking like young women, not suburban women, young women turned out to vote for because they're afraid they're going to lose abortion, even though it's all gone back to the states. The states get to determine what is legal and what is not legal in that category. I'm sorry, I'm checking the chat over here. Manuel is going to see Black Panther. Manuel Rosario is our official rumble.com/JJW movie correspondent, because Manuel's on top of these movies. I got 2 kids that are too young to go to movies, and so I don't go to flicks that much. So Manuel's going to go watch Black Panther today. We will get an update about how exciting and riveting that movie is tomorrow from Manuel, and we're going to take his word on it. Waiting for Deacon to get off the air. Let's see. They're also talking about Magic the Gathering and Snap over there. That's great. Okay, so I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. I like DeSantis. I like Trump. Trump has all this kind of energy and this willingness to engage and destroy his opponents if possible, but has demonstrated a real willingness to withhold the use of power. For instance, Trump never deployed the National Guard during the Summer of Love. He never sent out troops to cities that were being burned and rioted in. The kinds of claims that anti-Trump people make about Trump being a dictator, they don't correspond with like facts. That being said, Donald Trump is very old. He's like, I don't know, 78 or something like that, and I think that the time is past for us to have geriatric candidates. We need younger people that are more responsive, that have more to lose by living in a society that they help shape.
Right. So, that's it. I like that line. You're exactly right with that line. That have more to lose. I don't think our politician. I don't know. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Well, I mean, first of all, I mean, there's so many things that our system has that are failings. For instance, we have elected representatives that go into office, blue collar or like the rest of us, middle class, and they come out multimillionaires. Mm-hmm. What's going on there? Mm-hmm. Nancy Pelosi is worth like hundreds of millions of dollars, and every bit of that has come from
being in politics and making shady deals. And it's not just Nancy Pelosi. I mean, you can say it about any of them. Mitch McConnell, even some of them I like, even the people that I like, they all have, and they all are. And you might not think, no, my candidate is not going to do that, and they're an upstanding person. No, You don't know how things go. You don't know how things are up there. And me and JJ don't even know how things are up there. I just
really
would like
don't
to think that me and you are smarter than the average bear.
You know,
that shit.
You know for sure that these people are up there in Washington talking to each other. They have the scuttlebutt. They know what bills they're going to propose. They know what they're not going to propose.
They know what's coming up. They know who's going to vote for what. They know all of this stuff ahead of time.
Right. So, that gives them a market advantage in some ways in terms of like betting for or against the for
Stock
different
market.
sectors of our economy. And they have the authority to change the economic structure to be like, oh, well, if you're going to build cars now, we're just going to tax that at like whatever percent. Oh, well,
Right.
you're going to take that overseas. Okay, well, then we'll bet against the car industry or whatever.
We'll
so they have. So, going forward, I don't know what we should. I mean, I don't know what the Republicans should do, and I don't know that Republicans know. And so, here's the real question: should Donald Trump look at these results and say, you know what? If I run again, we all know that Donald excites both sides. He excites the right to go to the polls, and he excites the left to go to the polls to vote against him because they think that they're voting against Darth Vader or something.
We're not the most ultimate evil person in the world. Oh, that's what we're told.
See, I told you Darth Vader's not a good guy. He kills kids. It's not good.
He's a troubled young man.
Yeah, there's no laying on a ramp and be like, "I'm sorry, son." That makes up for slaughtering like a bunch of school children.
Really? There's not.
Yeah,
okay.
That's not enough. That's not enough. So, I don't know. I think we need to have a moment and a break to like pause and think about it. And I think Donald Trump is the one that has to think about like maybe the most powerful thing he can do is say, for the good of the country, I am going to not run again. I'm going to endorse whoever I'm going to endorse whenever I'm going to endorse them. But take that wild card off the table. Now, is DeSantis the guy that's the should be the party leader? He's the winner, but I've heard some mild accusations that he's being fronted by or back.
As much as I kind of like what the guy has done, some of this stuff that he's done and said, I don't know everything about that guy.
Yeah,
I don't think he's a good choice either. That's a bad.
He does not have the gravitas. Hey, sweetheart.
No, you're exactly right. He does not have the foundation to.
But then again, if Joe Biden runs again, you're running against like literally a cardboard cutout of a human.
Yeah, but
so,
they're gonna
that worked.
And so
here's
a couple of
other things that we learned. I wrote this stuff down. So one, we know that the polls, you can't trust the polls. The polls, we've talked about it a couple times that polling is too difficult. Well, polling is totally inaccurate. But we all get wrapped up because it's so exciting about what's going to happen. But polls are just broken, and we should maybe stop listening to pollsters altogether. One of the other points about Republicans maybe should not run Trump in 2024. Trump lost to a brain-dead Biden. Trump backed Oz, and who lost to a brain-damaged Fetterman.
Oh,
we don't want any more.
Yeah, those are just terrible choices. I
Sure.
mean, me and Ashley were talking about that yesterday, and I was like, "Yeah, why was Mehmet Oz the best choice that they had? I mean, what the hell is that? Really, that was the best?" Because
that was a person who lost a Republican seat. Pennsylvania had a Republican senator, and they lost the seat to him. So I don't know if that was a good choice. Facts do not seem to matter. Okay, the fact that we are in an economic disaster tailspin doesn't seem to matter. People voted for more of it. The facts just don't seem to matter. The thing that drives people up, unsurprisingly, seems to be fear. Democrats ran on this message of like democracy is on the ballot. If we don't vote for Democrats, then we'll lose democracy, which is literally it doesn't make sense, but okay. So they were promoted by fear, and the fear of like, oh, the Republicans are going to do a nationwide abortion ban. No, we're not. Republicans are not going to do that. That's Lindsey Graham playing for the wrong side. That's all that is. The Republicans said, no, we don't want to do nationwide anything on this. But
Yeah, but you
people were
can't.
afraid.
You can't. We were all 18 through 24. Okay. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but if you are between the ages of 18 and 24 and you're listening to the show right now, you don't know dick about the
I mean,
world.
you might know a
really
little bit
don't.
more than your peers, but
You
you really
think
don't.
you might, but you
Yeah.
really don't. All right. And
Yeah.
we're not just being curmudgeonly old boomers saying that. When you get 45 years old and 46, 7 years old, you're going to say the exact same thing about
I didn't know
yourself
anything.
when you were 20 years old. I thought I knew everything there was to know about politics at 20 years old. I was an idiot. I was a left, leaning left person. I always said that about Rush Limbaugh. When I was younger, because I've been in radio my whole life. I've known who Rush is. And I used to hate Rush Limbaugh. Hate Rush Limbaugh. What
do you now, after years of hold on. After years of being in the business, do you now respect his craft?
Oh my God, he was a genius. He did he did everything right. And Rush is from not too far from here. So anyway, the older that I got, the more that, and I would talk about how much I hated Rush. I would have people be like, why do you hate Rush? And now I would think to myself, why do I hate this man? I hate this man because of what someone has told me I should hate about this man, because I was a younger, very, easily malleable mind. So I just put it upon myself, because I'm one of these people. I put it upon myself to listen to Rush Limbaugh and form my own opinion.
Yeah.
Well, I started listening to Rush Limbaugh. And if you can get past his I am better than you and I am awesome and I am the awesomest person in the world, if you can get past that little bit of the narcissism that he has, he's right. And so that one company went out to prove him wrong decades ago. Remember, he talked about this all the time. That one company went to prove him wrong decades ago. And after like 10 years of listening to what his predictions were and seeing if he was right, they ended up finding out that Rush Limbaugh was right like 99.8% of the time. He was right over 10 years of study. So that's, if you could get past his narcissism, you would realize that I realized real quick that Rush, there was no reason for me to hate Rush. He was right about all this stuff that he was saying, and I believe this stuff. So what I'm getting at is I was an easily malleable mind and thought that I knew everything and thought that what I meant. But in 20 years is a long time. And it will pass very quickly. But once you look back 20 years at yourself, you will go, I'm a little different person, I think. You might not change at all. But
it's not that like one side of politics are the good guys and one side of politics are the bad guys. It's not that at all.
No, not at all.
It's that we have two kind of groups in America, right? But it's really like the people at the top that are in power. Those are the people that are making sure that you're backing one side or the other, because the people at the top, the ones that are representing you, they're actually just representing their pocketbooks. They're representing their own interests, and they're colluding with other powerful figures in market economy and corporate business world, whatever, that have their own interest. Your interests, the ones that they're supposed to be representing, are basically last on the priorities.
Right. And how do I get you to respond to what I want you to respond to, JJ? What's the fastest way to get a general public to respond the way that I want them to respond? It's to incite some sort of emotion in you. If I can get an emotional reaction out of you, then I can get you to make an illogical and a quick, ill-informed decision and an ill-informed action by using your emotions instead of your brain. So I, as a politician, am going to use keywords and buzz phrases and certain platforms to get on to talk about that I know is going to piss you off
So
and
now,
keep you mad at your neighbor.
think about this and take one half step back and think about this, because you're right. People respond to rhetoric. People respond to emotional provocation. They do not respond to arguments. They do not respond to facts. The Republicans try to run candidates that have articulated positions or nuanced positions, or hold political issue, hold political stances based on a logical assessment of of the facts. The Democrats, run candidates to tell you that, like, if you don't vote for us, there's going to be fear. If you don't, there's going to be women's rights are going to be rolled back. If you don't vote for us, there's going to be literally going to be war in the streets. There's going to be civil war. They tell you that if you don't vote for Democrats, there's going to be civil war. What does that mean? If the Republicans win, does that mean that the Democrats are going to like cause a civil war? They tell you.
What does that mean? I mean, do you have an
army? So, like,
what does that mean?
They run on emotional appeals. They may couch it in arguments sometimes, but I mean, it's almost every time, especially where it's effective, it is because they're running on scaring you about what Republicans are going to do. And Republicans don't do anything. They don't do anything. They get into
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, they get into power and then they just like twiddle their thumbs and they don't do anything.
I've tried to teach my I think I know I've had this conversation with Alex. Teach your children not to react. Teach your children how to, when their emotions get the best of them, to not initially react, because that's the worst thing in the world that you can do. Teach your children to take a breath, calm down, get their thoughts in order before you actually, because that's what this world, we're all humans and we're all designed to, if I piss you off, you're going to react. And sometimes that's not the best. That's not the best.
If you doubt that this is true, then think about when you're playing games with other people, a board game or a little group around the table, you're playing a competitive game or whatever. If you can get under your opponent's skin and irritate them and make them mad, you can provoke anger. And that emotional stuff, that turmoil will take over their mind, and they will start making mistakes.
Mm-hmm. They start
That's
making
right.
mistakes.
It's the easiest way to win games. Mm-hmm. Instead of playing smarter, you can just make whoever you're playing with mad.
Yeah.
You can just make them angry.
It is a strategy.
And it works. And Republicans don't ever use it.
Yeah. No, I know. It seems like the Democrats use it all the time. But they use it on their own. I mean, they're using it on their own people. It's not like they're going after us. They're pissing off their own people to get you pissed. Yeah. So yeah, we can talk about this all day.
I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know what we should do. I don't know what we should do, and I don't know what. But the reality is that I don't really have any choice right now. The next person that has the most impactful choice is Donald Trump, because he gets to signal to a larger audience, we're going to do this or we're going to do that. I'm going to run. I'm going to not run. So I definitely think that Donald Trump can destroy a lot of competition, a lot of his opposition. I think he can definitely punish people, but he's 80. He's going to be 80 years old. And the more he excites everybody, the more he excites the other people too. And maybe we just need to figure out another way. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But how do you win whenever when you're constantly in elections against a team that will use empty emotional rhetoric to generate their base, and our side doesn't? We're just like, well, we're going to have like more.
That's another strategy too, JJ, is to keep you busy. You know, that was what someone here in our local race did. I'm not going to get into it, but they basically, like 4 months ago, they did this stuff to keep their opponent busy, you know, trying to defend their name, and they have a chance
slander.
to. Well, it was not really slander, but it was. It ended up being true, but it kept that opponent busy for 4 months trying to defend their name, you know, and they lost. And they were a sitting official, and they lost. So it worked.
Well, we'll have to see. Donald Trump has announced that he's going to make an announcement. He made an announcement that he's going to make an announcement on the 15th. And Newt Gingrich wrote an article that was posted up. Let's see. I'm just going to get the headline. Newt Gingrich, former Speaker of the House from the 1990s, he says that he thinks that maybe Trump is he's got to rethinking 2024. So Newt says that Trump has got to be looking at the results and be troubled with these results. So we're going to see next week what's going to happen. We don't know. But if you tuned in for that inciting bit of information, thank you. And please return to rumble.com/JJW. Make sure to leave a rumble and a like and a comment on the video. Deacon, I think I said this when you were off the air. Manuel is going to go see Black Panther. He's our official movie correspondent. He takes his 9-year-old daughter. She likes all these superhero movies. So he's going to tell us tomorrow if it's good and worth our time or our viewers' time. And he said that he's not into the Star Wars stuff. So he's not a Star Wars fan. He'll pass on Andor. Okay, that's fun.
Yeah, that's cool. That's fine.
Oh, I'm just going through the chat comments here. Jeremy says that I had a clever vampire deck from Magic the Gathering vampire deck sitting the first Eldrazi block. I don't remember, but I did have a vampire deck when I played Magic the Gathering. That was fun.
I had a red and green kobold and fireball, had forks, lightning bolts. I could burn you real quick. But I had to remember those zero casting kobolds that you couldn't get. They were really rare. Yeah. There were 3 of them. They were zero casting kobolds. Yeah, I think they were kobolds. I don't think they were goblins. I think they were kobolds. Forks and regrowths.
Oh, whoa! Not naked. Get that word close.
Okay.
Yikes.
That's fine. Okay. All right.
Checkup is in less than an hour.
All right. I got this last thing, and then we're gonna have to cut out. I know you like this guy. I like this guy. I think you have not watched the John Wick movies. Have you not watched the John Wick movies?
First one. I think I watched the first one.
Hold on, Lily. Mommy's doing the best she can.
Ian McShane is joining Ana de Armas in a John Wick spinoff called Ballerina. Now, I love this guy. Anything this guy does, I literally would watch a full documentary series of him reading a telephone book because he is just so fascinating. I'm telling you, I can't get through Andor, and I'm like, but I would literally watch him read a phone book. He's so awesome. So Ian McShane is going to return to the Continental Hotel. I don't know. The Continental Hotel was in the first movie, was it? Maybe it was in the second movie. I don't know if you saw it. So this is going to be a spin-off of the John Wick movies. McShane will reprise his role as Winston, the manager of the Continental, which is a hotel for assassins. And inside the hotel, you're not allowed to do assassin stuff, huh?
I think it was in the first one.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, especially, I'm certain it was. But it had a bigger role in the second movie. So production began Monday, and Lynn Weissman is directing. Lynn Weissman makes good movies. So we'll have to I look forward to that. John Wick 3 was not my favorite one. John Wick is the best of the 3 so far. John Wick 2 was good and a lot of action, but it didn't have the emotional gut punch of the first. And then John Wick 3 was it was the third movie. So Ian McShane back. I'm in. I want to see this. So all right, that's all we got this morning. I got to take my kid to the dentist. She's got to get an SHOT.
Yikes.
Not the dentist. She keeps saying dentist. I know it's not the dentist. It's not the dentist. She's
4-year checkup.
4-year checkup.
She's got to get several.
She's got to get several. Yeah. She's gonna
Don't
be.
say it.
I know. She's gonna be not happy about that. Well, last time here for me to chill out. Guys, I'm so glad you showed up and you've been watching. Deacon and I have been your two dads. We will be back tomorrow morning to talk about news and stuff.
Hey, baby,
And
let's get some clothes on, okay, sugar?
if you don't mind, go to Rumble. Are you watching this on YouTube? YouTube is so great and so convenient. Also, they hate you and they will censor things and they will keep facts from you. If you want to make sure you don't miss any content that's amazing and awesome, you can not only follow our channel, you can follow other amazing creators like Russell Brand and Timcast and you name it, they're on Rumble too. So go to rumble.com/JJW, sign up, become a Rumble user. They have an app. Is it as good as the YouTube app? No. But it's very good. So go to rumble.com, subscribe, and instead of likes, it's called a rumble. It looks like this thing down here, a little pillbox, or it looks like that punchy glove thing over there. Either way, that's a like button. And in order for me to satisfy my inner narcissist, I really need to see that number go up. So go over there and just go down all of my videos and do rumble. I just like them all. I appreciate it.
You got to quit talking. I'm running out of actions.
We're out of here. I'm looking for the outro thing. Here we go. Hey, you missed our new intro, so you'll see it tomorrow, Deacon. All right. Bye, everybody.